You need a picture for it? Sure. That had it caught up.
Oh, there's our store.
All right, I'll call the meeting to order. It's 7:04. We're gonna do a roll call. Please say if you're here when I call your name. Ken Rowan,
Here.
Gordy Anderson,
Here.
Janice Olson is not here. Matt Losrick is here. Mary Beth Tillman's here. Jesse Casino,
I am here.
all others.
Here.
All right, thank you. If I could have everybody stand and please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Minutes of the previous board meeting.
And it's actually two, because there were the regular ones.
It was regular, yeah. Do a motion?
Well, I can move that, for the special meeting, I was at that one. I don't think I should probably move from the first one that I was in.
I'll move to approve the first meeting.
Let's start with the special meeting then. Paul made a motion to approve the special meeting. minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, the motion is made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say aye.
And then I'll make a motion to approve the July 14th meeting. No.
I'll second the motion.
All right, the motion is made and seconded to approve the regular monthly minutes from last month. Are there any additions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say aye. Passes. Clerk's report.
All right, well, we have the election going on right now, and they're doing very well. Last I checked, about 5 o'clock, they had like 150 people, which is a great turnout. Even more people showing. So that's gone very well. It's been a busy month doing various reports. I did do an audit of insurance for the workers' comp. That has been filed and completed. So things are good.
All right, thank you. The treasurer's report. Have you had a chance to look at it?
I'm going to accept the I'll second the motion.
Motion is made and seconded to approve the treasurer's report. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say aye. There's no opposed. Board comments?
I have a couple. First off, Natasha, I'd like to apologize that you got left out of the process. And I'd like to apologize to merchants that got caught up in the process. And I'd also like to thank the Business Association for the letter they sent on suggestions and volunteering to help us write an ordinance. So I'm sure as a planning commission, we'll probably get stuck at that task, so thank you up front. So I've got, thank you.
Board comments? All right, I have a couple. I have a couple comments in response to Joey's letter. I just want to clear up some things that I don't think were correctly placed, so to speak. First of all, in the letter it says that I voted against your outdoor seating expansion, which I didn't vote against your outdoor seating expansion. I voted against the town, or the Marina Commission leasing you that land to use solely for your use. I wanted to keep that land usable for the public space that it had been used for in the past, so I would vote that way again. So I want to clear that up, but I didn't vote against your outdoor public seating. I voted against leasing you that land for your sole purpose. So. And he said I voted against placement of your waste container on town site, and I did. And the reason I did, and I stated at the special meeting, is because I said it was gonna be a problem, and it was gonna create an issue with other people and setting a precedent, and in the letter that we got from the business association, I think that kind of came to fruition already. The business association is requesting that the town build a site for any business that doesn't have a spot for a dumpster. So I think that's come to fruition already, so. I would vote the same way again. I'm not against you, Jody. I'm here for the town, so I don't think we should be doing that for everybody or creating space for anybody that doesn't have a dumpster location. So that's where I'm at. You also said that I failed to offer any remediation to the clerk's liquor license processing error, and that hasn't been brought to the board yet, but that's very incorrect. I talked to Joe Sunday morning, and I know in your letter it said we and us a lot, so I was assuming it was kind of from you and Joe, or for yourself.
I wrote the letter, Joe's been out of town, he left suddenly on Sunday, and he opened. You guys talking out there, but I was never able to. This is news to me right now, what you're telling me. So all right.
Well, I did talk to him, and I told him what had happened on our end and what I was gonna do for you guys. Or basically, there's a letter that we have from our attorney that I'm gonna share with you guys. I'm with the board when we get there, but I wanted an outside party to look at what happened to make sure there was no wrongdoing on anybody's part, and I informed him of all that. I do have a letter from our lawyer that basically outlines what had happened and what we can do in the future. So I did do that, and I did talk to Joe about it before I got this letter. So I hope that clears up some stuff. I don't want to be painted like a villain here. I don't want to be painted like I'm against you. And the board's not conspiring against you. I'm not conspiring against you. I think that was kind of an unfair representation of the facts. So that's what I'm at. Any other board comments?
Well, I guess I kind of have some of you addressed here. Quite honestly, I was disappointed and kind of embarrassed on the international board. I don't think it's handled very well. Just our inaction caused some harm. I think we do owe him an apology. Jody and Bill. And I think we can do better. And I think in retrospect and respectfully, I think it would be better had you recused yourself at the time of the exposed because you are in that position. In the future, I think you are.
And I guess I was involved, but I thought I would wait until we got to the old business items. So maybe I should have.
Whichever you prefer. Any other board comments? All right. Correspondence? Did everybody get the letter from CPA?
Yes. Like I said, thank you for volunteering.
So as far as correspondence goes, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I think it should have an overview of it. Unless. All right. All right, so on a letter dated August 10th, addressed to the Town Belt Board, and this is regarding commercial dumpster ordinance. The Chronicle Business Association is requesting that the town of Bell adopt and maintain the ordinance that require the placement of commercial dumpsters for all existing and future businesses. Unless some existing businesses that are small or older properties that don't have the location or meet current requirements. So in that case, they would request that the town of Bell provide a designated, properly constructed and fenced dumpster location for any buildings that isn't able to provide their own property. So we would need to look at this separately at some point, but that's the correspondence. Am I representing that correctly?
But the last sentence is what it says, CBA would be willing to serve on a committee for developing such notice.
Yes.
So it's nice to have volunteers to agree with that.
Any other correspondence? Committee reports. Sanitary district?
Yeah, and I talked to the engineer. This Monday, we keep shifting gears all the time. We're working with this lady named Monica at the DNR headquarters in Madison. The latest plan is we're going to build the waste, hauled in waste treatment plant. But we're going to pump it into the first lagoon until such time as more funding is available for us to modify that. Right now, we have the existing capacity to do that. So he thinks that's a good start, plus that way we won't lose the $1.1 million that we was earmarked from Tammy Baldwin for the construction of this plant. So they're trying to keep the budget at, the board doesn't even know about this. But that's the latest thing that's going on. So the discharge seems to be a problem for whatever, and I'm surprised because I thought that was pretty much ironed out. But it seems like it's still a problem, at least the DNR is still not comfortable, so. We're moving ahead, but it's slow.
Thank you. Roads report?
So as everybody's probably well aware that we've replaced the river crossing on Mountain Road. It was, project's completed now. It was, we're all happy that it's done. It's not without problem or issues, but that's not for now. Big thanks to Bayfield County Highway Department, called in some favors. It's really nice to know we have friends. Chris Udacek for bringing his crane out there. Bayfield County Land and Water Conservation. Travis Klowitzki and Ben Duford, who helped engineer the project for us and worked right alongside of us, until 6 o'clock on a Friday night. So that was very good, but it's great. Nobody in this room, except for maybe George there, will have to worry about this. It's very large. So, but now it's an aquatic organism friendly passage, and that's how we got the funding. That's why it's so ginormous, and it's designed to pass 100-year flood. So.
Great.
And then other than that, it hasn't rained and.
It's not raining until it rains.
All we're gonna do is make more washboard and dust. And thank God we have as much chloride down in these spots that we do. That's it.
Thank you. Public comment period? Yes.
The Cornucopia Day Committee preliminary numbers. This is strictly vendor and raffle. We haven't gotten the bike and the run information yet. We have gotten a few expenses already put out. but approximately $4,000 in profit came in. We're expecting that to go a little bit higher as other expenses, as other income and donations come in this year. Thank you for everybody that participated this year.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judy.
Yes.
Just a few words about the dumpster, issue, for lack of a better word. The Business Association already did a good job of bringing up one of the concerns that I had about it, which was setting a precedent, and, you know, everybody else needs a space for their dumpster too. Which leads into the next issue, space up at the recycling center. We're pretty maxed out on what we can handle currently with what the traffic we have in the summertime here. Winter, it's not a problem, but summertime, as you know, the town gets really busy. And we fill every single one of our receptacles, and we're gonna have to expand ourselves soon if it keeps growing in the summertime. We're limited on space up there already to do that. So adding in more dumpsters from the marina or any other businesses in town is gonna limit us even further on what we can do to expand for community waste. One of my other concerns was having it outside without any sort of protection around it. The reason we have ours enclosed in the building is to mitigate the smells and keep the wildlife as much at bay as possible. As it is, we still see on our camera up there, a bear coming in the spring and, you know, a coyote coming by, which is why we try to keep things from being outside of the building. Anyway, thanks.
Thank you. Public comments? Jody, did you want to speak? I
Is
didn't.
this where I speak?
Yeah, if you
Okay.
will, I mean, if we have some questions, we can ask later too, but since I didn't read your letter into the correspondence, if you want
Yeah, thank
to
you.
talk about that.
Thank you. I guess the most salient parts to me, anybody that doesn't know me, I'm Jody Meyer. I'm speaking on behalf of my business partner, Joe Jurgensmeyer, tonight. He can't be here, he's out of state. I think our key points is we see the town of Bell as our landlord, and the fish shed is the tenant. We own the building, and like those hard assets, we lease the space down there from the town of Bell. The town of Bell has approved the use of our occupancy for the fish shed, which is the restaurant, but there is no provision for full lease space for the full occupancy, the waste container. For a restaurant, we create refuse, we have to have a refuse container someplace. So Fish Shed has been providing contingency for the waste container since the use of occupancy approval, and those options we've had are no longer available to us. It's understood that it's undesirable to place the waste container down in the harbor area. It's understood that it is undesirable to place the waste container at personal properties with residences or current conflicting zonings. The fish shed refuse contains very little raw fish waste, as we only handle boneless, skinless fillets and manage effectively to zero or near so spoilage. The fish shed, we will upgrade our current waste container to an all steel, like bear-proof style that one would find in a federal campground, something like that. We've already been in works with Republic, who is our waste hauler. Our practices have been sufficient over the last few years running that we've really incited no animal or scent complaints or issues to date. We take pride in our practices. We have to store it in the back of a truck all day long within nose distance of seating, if you will. So I'm very particular about it. We're a small space inside. I don't like spills and messes inside. We understand precedent. We feel that precedent would be materially unaltered as to the town of Bell has a limited number of tenants with the same or similar approved use of occupancy. And we had been paying our current provider $50 a month, and we're willing to pay for 12 months in advance annually. So those were all the key points that we talked about in July when we met on the 16th. This will remain our key talking points.
All right, thank you. Is there any other public comments before we move on?
I'm just curious what all the other businesses are doing with their dumpsters.
I guess basically everybody has their own, like, at their location.
I can say the farmhouse we have our dumpster at our farm. I know you have yours back there in the alley, but other than that,
We also have the construction dumpster at the house. So I think it's just put it where you can fit it.
Gas station has a dumpster on their property.
Store has 2 dumpsters at least.
Back there.
Marina has one right there on the river.
For our part, we prefer to have one down at the marina. It would save us a lot of process and extra hours, either running it ourselves, which Joe or I do most of the time, or paying our employees to do it. If we had a dumpster, we could just walk it over to you and not have to handle it multiple times. We would gladly do that, gladly do that. That would be preferred by us.
Have you talked to any of your neighbors? I drove around today, and Halversons don't have a dumpster down at the beach, but they have a dumpster behind their plant where the big parking lot's at. Across the street at the septic system, there's no dumpster over there. So you'd probably, if you could get concurrence, you'd have maybe move it, 200-300 feet. But that's, something that needs to be explored just to see, if it's doable.
Public comments? All right. Going to old business, which is the dumpster at the recycle center for the fish shed. Possibly rescind motion and possible discussion and decision. So this isn't on here because I'm attacking you once again.
Understood.
This is on here because we were under the understanding that the manager of that facility had been talked to or had input on that. She expressed to several people, board members, that there was no input there. So after a letter from the manager and 2 supervisors requesting that it put back on the agenda, it's back on the agenda. So the discussion is gonna happen, whatever. If you want it to happen, there needs to be a motion to rescind the previous motion if there's gonna be discussion on anything else. Understood? So, that's where we're at. If you wanna discuss it, that's what you have to do.
So I'd like to make a motion this time that we discuss the recycling and the dumpster. I would also like to put in the motion, if it does pass, that we have a planned group meeting for this subject, whether it's done by the planning commission or, this is gonna be a recurrent, as the town grows, we're still gonna have to deal with this, so.
I will second that motion.
Did you get that?
Discussion, okay, to discuss the recycling center and the dumpster.
Correct. The motion is that we'll discuss this further. You're not saying, the motion is not to yea or nay, not to kill it, but the motion is to have another meeting on this subject and explore all options. And I know we're cramped for space up there. I go up there every week and look at how many bales of cardboard we have and how much room the recycling bins are taking for electronics. And the north side is, taken up by the sewer pond. South side is taken up by the airport and the equipment storage area. West side is taken up by, another equipment storage area and a road up to the pond, sewer pond. So, and we're just about running out of room to, put the steel dumpster. So it's just, yes, it needs to be explored. It's not a problem that's gonna go away. It's gonna be an issue probably 20 years from now, the only people in this room that'll have to deal with is Matt and probably Whitney, because they're all under 50. But everybody else is, you know, we're gonna all be long gone. It'll be usually, oh, wait, we got a couple of young people in here.
Okay, so your motion is to have another meeting
Yes.
to discuss the
Yes,
recycling
and
center.
I have got proposed dates.
Yeah.
I wrote down here. Okay, in 2 weeks, 25th of August, 7 PM. I think we need to have another public hearing, but we also, our meeting on this, but we also need to bring in more stakeholders like the Business Association that volunteered to help us with this, so I would like to make sure that they're on the invite. If that's not a possible date, backup meeting would be 5 PM on the 3rd of September, which is also the planning commission meeting, which is, that has to get written in the planning guide anyway. I'd like to have it all done though before the next town board meeting, which is gonna be 8 September. So that if we can, if we have a meeting, we can bring it back to the board meeting and say, okay, this is what the conclusion is, this is what the, you know, but, yeah, this is, you gotta think, we have to think about either expanding that building up there or finding someplace to, you know, take the overflow of cardboard, you know, the other items that are up there. It's not just a dumpster problem, it's gonna become a total refuse problem. So we need to look at it a little bit harder.
So, what was the first date?
25 August, 7 PM, 2 weeks from today.
I would not be able to be present. There is yes.
How about everybody else?
I'm good.
The other meeting was September what?
September 3rd.
September 3rd, that's planning commission meeting,
Okay,
that's at 5 PM.
thank you.
That would be the backup date.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't be at the 3rd, so,
The 25th?
that's right, 25th. I can be at the 3rd.
What kind of date is it? 20, what, 3rd of September? No, 25th, Tuesday, 2 weeks from today. Sorry.
So the 25th? Everybody set?
I'm good.
Party?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes? Okay,
And you're gonna make it public?
we'll do the same thing. It's a town meeting though, not,
Correct.
yes.
No, it's not a board meeting.
No, it's not.
Well-
But it's a town, it would be a spin-off from what we're doing right now. It's basically, we need to address it publicly.
But it would be a special,
It'll be a
special board.
Yes.
Well, there's different rules for a board meeting versus a town meeting.
One topic on the agenda.
All right, so I'm getting a little confused by what you're asking. What I would say, or what I see is we'll have a special board meeting. A public hearing is where the electors vote.
Right.
You're looking for input.
This is the input, and if we have to have electorates, they would be ready for the next town board meeting after that, if we have to do that.
All right, so we'll have a special board meeting for this.
Correct.
That's okay. And that's what your motion should state.
Correct.
To have a special board meeting to discuss the recycling center and dumpsters.
Correct.
All right, so that was made and seconded. Is there any more discussion?
Yeah, I'm Paul. So I was charged to meet with Jody and Tasha and Matt to see if that was even, feasible, possible, where we could put it. Matt was building a road. And then between the fish fry and the Carne Day, I don't think you could find a busier time for anybody. So it didn't happen. I apologize for that, but there were several attempts to try to get everybody together to see if it was even possible to locate it out there. We've got some new information, and so I think it's good that we revisit our decision. When we get new information, we need to revisit that. I found out that Justine at the coffee shop had basically tried for the same thing several years ago. I wasn't on the board, but she can't get the waste management truck through the alley to get to a dumpster. So I think she's at Eller's is where she put her dumpster, and we turned her down. That's what we did before. I also know that there's a potential hangar at the airport in the works. I also know that at one time we were talking about having a little industrial or business park up there. I don't know how much land we have. I don't know if we have land we could clear, but so absolutely we need to deal with it. It's not going away. We are getting a 30-yard roll-off hauled out every week.
Yeah, for July and August, that's pretty standard.
Yeah, every week.
During
30
the
yards of
slower months, it's every other week.
And our rates went up. Jody and Joe are willing to pay. This might be a revenue thing to offset some of the expenses. We're not gonna make a fortune on it, but it might help. So, we'll probably still get a couple new businesses and, tourism is not going away. And so I guess I'm in favor of trying to get, as Kenny said, all the stakeholders here and figure it out. I talked to your landlords. They're not gonna imminently make you get rid of your dumpster. So you're okay for a little while, but they do want it gone. So we've got to figure something out. And that's my 2 cents.
All right. The motion is still made and seconded. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say aye. There's no opposed. So that is to create a meeting on August 25th at 7 p.m.
Since all the parties are here, can we find a time to go up to the recycle center and just walk around? Does anybody know how much land we have there? What's land is ours? Is there something we could clear to do this, or is it just, are we just, I don't know how much room, I don't know how much land we have up there.
You have to look at the plat map and see what the
Dimensions are.
dimensions are.
Well, hold on, I mean, I kind of think we're getting ahead of things.
Well,
We're having a meeting to discuss that.
If we had more information to bring to them.
We can
bring that to the meeting.
Yeah, I think, yeah, we can bring that to the meeting. I mean, if you want, I can go up there with you if you want to look at it. But other than that, does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, absolutely. Whoever wants to go, Tosh,
My schedule is chaos,
yeah,
so you have to catch me at the right moment.
yeah, right, that's what I mean. And Matt's too. And probably Jody's too. But yeah, I would, but I mean, I'd like to find out if it's just, maybe we've got 5 acres up there that we're not using, that wouldn't be too big a deal to clear it out a little bit and do something, but maybe we don't. Until we know. I kind of agree right now, it's the way where it's mowed and what we have there is, it's pretty tight. You got a snow plow through there in the winter. So I'd like to see if that's even a possible location, so maybe we'll run up there some morning or something, evening or something. See what we can figure out.
All right. Moving on to opening propane bids.
All right, I received 2 bids. One is from Midland and the other is from Como. And Midland had come in, I spoke with them on the phone at $1.38,
That was
Midland.
138.
And Como came in at $129.9.
$129.9.
Yes.
Do you have a motion?
I move to accept Midland's proposal of 1.38.
That was
No,
That's a higher bid.
Midland.
that's a higher bid.
Yeah, Midland's was $1.38, Como was $1.29.
Just change that to $1.29.
So Como.
Mhm.
I'll second.
Alright, the motion is made and seconded to accept the bid from Como at 129.9. Is there any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say aye. There's one opposed.
This one was a lot cheaper last year, weren't they?
They were,
They were quite a bit cheaper.
Alright, number 2 on the new business agenda is resolution opposing flock/LPR cameras. I just wanted to get a discussion on this. I think it might be a good idea to explore. Go ahead.
I'm certainly against the flock LPR camera. Is this just, so we're on record with the county, or did the county ask us for? this?
Nobody asked us for anything, and I think it would just be a good idea to have an official stance on it. I don't know if anybody else doing it, but I thought it might be.
Yeah, reading, I've been doing a lot of local radio.
All around here.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Apparently, the sheriff's not taking the states.
So we could maybe look for a resolution to kind of
Yeah. Try something else and just-
do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I move we pass a resolution opposing flock LPR cameras. I'll send that motion.
All right, the motion is made and seconded. Do you wanna make a resolution then?
Gordy, you wanna help me?
Sure.
Perfect. All right, so if you wanna get that done, then we'll have to sign it.
Did you second the Gordon?
No.
Kenny.
Ken seconded.
I'm sorry,
Ken
where,
seconded. You know,
did you have something there?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that my soon-to-be daughter-in-law is the administrative assistant for the mayor of Duluth. And Duluth recently did the same resolution with the flocks. I think 9 of them have been taken down out of the 12.
Yeah, I read that.
Just a little FYI.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe go to their website and look at their resolution.
And I just read in an article in the local newspaper that I used to get, the West St. Paul, which of course is a suburban community, they also they're not allowing plots.
All right. EMS services in the town of Bell. It's actually broader, Bayfield County, but I just want to start something here. I don't know what, I know we've talked previously, and it doesn't look very good for what this town can do, but, I don't know, I want either some ideas or discussion, or, I don't know.
Well, I think by law, we have to have some kind of a plan, don't we?
Well, we do,
Right.
but it's just not working out very well. There's just a lack, well, like in the whole country, but Bayfield County is kind of what we're talking about, am I correct? But it's nationwide. A lack of volunteers for volunteer services. And so I don't know what we can do. I talked to quite a few different people on it, and we kind of thought the county was gonna do something, but that fell through.
May I speak to some of your points?
Yes, please.
Said loud.
Yes.
Well, we need some education.
So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jeff Firehoff, I'm Service Director for South Shore Area Ambulance. And as Matt says, we're in dire straits. We've been declining in volunteers for, now that being said, Washburn EMS, which is probably the largest, busiest provider in Bayfield County, is in almost as dire straits as we are. They're missing 30% of their calls. I just got a number today that Ashland Fire has been up there 43 times already this year to cover calls that they couldn't. This last month here, we had 6 calls. 2 of them were canceled. 1 was a refusal. 1 we were able to make a transport, but 2 we had Iron River EMS make the transport. So it is dire straits. One of the things that I will point out is we have a 4 towns meeting twice a year. Not to throw anybody under the bus, but my tenure with the Service Bell has not represented once at any of those meetings. And that goes back 10 years. Doesn't help. Fort Wayne has not done the same. So what's interesting is Town of Clover kind of feels like they're on their own, and one of the members from the Fort Wayne community said, well, we contract with you guys, so figure it out. Where, okay, the problem is it's you know, if we fail, which is a very strong possibility, it's going to have repercussions that are not going to be good. As it is now, we've had Red Cliff coming over and helping. We've had Iron River coming over and helping, but they're in dire straits as well. The county got 4 proposals. They kicked 2 of them out right away, and they were looking at a contract with Ashland Fire Department for 1 ambulance that would help out the county, and 1 from Essentia Health in 1 ambulance to help out the county. Those numbers were from $990,000 a year to 1.3 for 1 ambulance. So for those of you that are not breathing, that's a lot of money. So that's where we're at in the grand scheme of things. You know, the system is messed up, where I feel responsible for a lot of this cascading because I turned in a letter 2 months ago to retire. I've done it 46 years and I want to retire. And myself and 1 other EMT, we were the ones keeping the doors open during the day. So that's where we're at. I don't know if you have any questions for me that I could answer.
Do you have any solution?
If I did, I would be on the road selling it to everybody. So the interesting thing is the county has spent over $130,000 in commissioning EMS studies. All the EMS studies have come back with the exact same answers. They say that the volunteer model has collapsed. You're going to have to put paid staff on. What that looks like, they don't say what it looks like, but they said but this is the logical conclusion that these EMS studies did. The county board basically said, no, we don't want more options. If that other option exists, I'm sure it had been come up with by now. Trying to think if there was anything else that I'm on ideas. Just, you know, one of the things that works against us in this area is, as you well know, we're an older community, a lot of retirees, a lot of people who worked a career and they come up here. And if I try to put the bite on them to be an EMR, be an EMT, something like that on the ambulance, the first hurdle to get them over is the training. Most of them will go, okay, I'll do that. When I tell them that when the pager goes off, you're going to be gone 4 to 5 hours, that's kind of a non-starter. Most people can't swing that. A little bit of help on the horizon. I do know that the town, they're trying to do a special 4 towns meeting by the end of the month. I don't know why that hasn't been kicked out to you folks yet, but I think there's a little, there's some miscommunications going on over there. The other thing is, we are trying to host an EMR class to help, and that'll kick off in September 19th. It's September 19th to December 19th. That's about 108 hours. Anybody that takes it, it'll be no cost to them. And then in the spring, there'll be the remainder of it if they want to go on and become EMTs. That's one of the difficulties we face as well. To have a legal crew, I have to have 2 EMTs, or an EMT and an EMR. I can't just have one of either. So that kind of hamstrings us as well.
Maybe ask questions?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Jeff, my question, who's funding the class that you're trying to offer so that people can take it at no cost?
So we will, South Shore Area Ambulance will fund it. And then there was legislation passed last year. And I can't remember the name of the board, it escapes my mind, but I can turn in the receipts.
Okay.
And we get reimbursed for class and materials.
And then do the attendees, do they get paid anything for attending?
No.
Okay.
Jeff, I read in the Ashland paper, there was the proceedings from the meeting at the county. And more meeting about, that was discussing it, and one of the, I think the final proposal was that the county was gonna kick in $1 million. And then just distribute it countywide.
That was my understanding. It's really nebulous. That was the statement that was made. I got a very little background in it, but there's going to be a lot of strings attached. And that's $1 million spread out over 9 providers. So what that looks like, I don't know. They're in the process of writing what that looks like now.
How realistic is it to be able to hire the town of Bell or whatever, hire 2 people, I mean, as far as salary, I mean, are we talking $1 million per town?
I don't know what that
You don't
looks
know what
like.
that
Judy.
kind of
Yeah, I know if I went back to the original study stuff, they did have some of the breakdowns in there, but that was probably 4 years ago. Something to that effect. But I know I'm being biased here, but we did our best at impressing upon the county board that we're in dire straits. Because at one point I told the board members, I said, the folks that I can recruit from are the same ones I'm transporting. Not a great concept. I think the last census, our mean age was 61. It's just.
Yeah, we're just old.
And that's the median of it, the median is higher.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Linda.
Do you have information on the upcoming class that could be shared? Because I'd be willing to try to share it around on some social
I
media.
will get that out right shortly. I got the registration forms just this afternoon.
Okay, sounds good. Because maybe some of us can help you get this.
We get on the website.
Sure.
And then.
But one of the other things too is there is a groundswell of people trying to help, trying to get people in class. There's some folks in this room that have expressed interest, which is great. It's that lead time or reaction time to take Doug from 0 to able to handle an ambulance call. It's not a matter of a couple of weeks, it's a year. I mean, it is not an immediate process. So that's the one tough thing. It's like all of a sudden we have interest, but butts in the seat aren't coming anytime soon. Anything else? I don't know if the horses are out of the barn, but maybe reaching out to your county board members and hitting them a little harder might be helpful. I don't know. I do know that Washburn is one at them again. And I think the decision was a 7-6 decision. What's fascinating is the ones that like what they have now are in close proximity to, say, Ashland Fire or Great Divide. They already have a service that they're contracted with that's pretty stable. Yeah, so we got ours, we're good to go. Anything else? Sorry for the bearer of bad news. I wish I had great answers for you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, for your service.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you very much.
So that's basically all that's all the information that I wanted to get out there, but I know that we talked in the past, and I know that it seems like there should be something we can do to, hire or fix or do something, but it's very difficult, I understand that, but I want to make everybody aware and hopefully keep this on the agenda so that you can keep us informed, or I can ask questions, or you can ask somebody, we can keep asking questions and maybe
Sure.
get somebody to do something, I don't know.
Sure. To tell you the truth, it's been like screaming into the wind.
Would a salary help, you think?
No, that's a tough question in the fact that, usually the numbers, you're looking at a call a day when you're looking at hiring people. That's kind of the breakover point in the normal, like urban area or whatever. Up here, we run maybe 90 calls a year. So getting a full-time person to be willing to basically go sit in the station, do nothing for 2 weeks and then get a call is kind of a tough sell. One of the things that I told the people that did the study is I know when I was young, I became a paramedic at 19. I would love to live up here, but there's no way I'd come up here to do EMS because it'd be boring. And that's, that's just the facts of, life where you get the younger, there's predominantly younger people in it and they want something to do. But there are models out there. I was talking to the director at Barnes. They've hired some staff. I think they got 3, and they've adjusted some payments or stipends for their folks. They're doing better, but I don't know how sustainable it is. There'll be somebody to reach out to. Matt, thanks for bringing it up. I mean, it's just.
Thanks for explaining.
Yeah. Well, what would happen would we be fined by the state if we didn't provide these services?
Well, that's a wonderful question. I don't know.
And what would that cost us?
Right, yeah, so, and that's one of the things that is proven difficult for me to retain staff as well, is we've hit such a low number. In the last year, I've been on 3 calls by myself, where I've been in the back of the ambulance, we're sitting on scene for an hour and a half, waiting for an ambulance. The one, but I'm this close to saying, all right, we're gonna break the rules, we're taking them. A guy like me, they want to take my license or whatever. But somebody that's looking at it as a career, that's a decision they can't make. And it's a lonely place, sitting there for an hour and a half trying to explain to a human being in pain that I'm trying, nobody's coming. The one day it was, I finally got an ambulance out of Toulouse, So a Minnesota ambulance to come to the peninsula. That same day, it went through Red Cliff, it went through Bayfield, it went through Washburn, it went through Iron River. And I finally got somebody out of Minnesota. So it's not good. It's not good at all.
Are there any other questions? All right, well, probably have this on the agenda, if not every month, at least sometimes. But, keep thinking about it. All right, we have a request to detour traffic around 88455 Superior Avenue for a wedding on September 26th. Last month, we approved rerouting ATV, UTV traffic around there for the same date. But you can speak to this if you want. You requested that we just change it to
Yeah,
from ATVs to all vehicles.
my request seems so silly compared to this incredibly serious situation. But yeah, I meant to ask for all vehicular traffic to be rerouted, diverted around the block for 8 hours. And it came out as a request just for ATVs, so I'm revisiting that request and asking for all vehicles to go around the block on that day,
And that was from 2
2 PM to 10 PM. There's a wedding, reception, dance, dinner. So.
Are we invited?
I don't know, maybe. Depends on how you vote.
When will we, detour traffic on 88455 for for wedding on September 26th?
from 2 to 10.
From 2 to 10. All traffic. All traffic. The whole block.
So just have to go like that.
I know.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Motion is made and seconded to reroute traffic around 88455 Superior Avenue. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say aye. There's no opposed. All right, last item on our agenda is discussion on purchasing a used front end loader from the town. Now, why don't you just give us an overview of the situation, please?
So, by attention, that town of Russell, was gonna be trading or updating their existing loader. So that's what I know. I did go over there and run the equipment and check it out. And it's a very nice loader, especially compared to what we have. What else? I mean, it's a very nice loader. It's got about 4,000 hours on it. I don't know what year it is, but it's like a 2017. So substantially newer than our 1985 case W11B.
So how much is it?
I don't remember, I don't know the exact price, it was 120 plus.
I talked to them this afternoon, they're offering it to us for $115,000.
Okay. So in context, the loader that they're replacing, or that they're buying, same new loader, if we were to buy it, was $320,000 for this loader. If we were to buy a brand new. So this one does have a wing on it, so aid in snow removal. A 3-yard bucket, which is only gonna, the current loader has a 1-yard bucket, so with the bulk material for dredging or moving snow or whatever. It's a huge upgrade. So anything else that I should be saying?
No, I'll get to the rest of it.
Okay.
So with this machine, there is no actual warranty, but because we are buying it from McCoy John Deere, if there was something major to happen, I don't think they'll give it to us in writing, but they say that if it's an engine failure or something in the first month or two, they would help us with that, like probably cover the labor if we covered parts. But this is, I don't know if it's considered certified or how they do it, but it is all inspected and it is at 4,000 hours, so they will be doing a 4,000 hour service on it when it's still in use by the town of Russell. So after it's done there, they get the new machine, it'll go through their shop and get a service, complete service done on it. And a more thorough inspection, we do have an inspection report already. But, so that's what we kind of would be included. Probably it would be available in about a month, roughly. And as far as paying for it, we would get, they offer 30-day grace period or whatever to municipalities. So like if we decide to buy it, we could say right now we'll sign a purchase agreement. And then up to 30 days after we actually take delivery is when we would have to actually fund it. So, and we did kind of go over where we're at financially, and maybe you could, Mary Beth, speak to that a little bit on what your report was on where we're at for funding.
Okay, Matt did contact me and ask where the current funds were and what kind of situation we're sitting with in the general fund. Right now, still, there is $32,864 in future projects in major equipment. That is money that the town board has set aside each, for a couple of budgets to put money aside for a major purchase. And then we did have, last year in our budget, we had figured a surplus for at the end of the year of 2025. And at a glance, when we do our budgeting, I look at all the accounts and what we were going to budget, what we're to spend, and if we've met that. Well, at the end of the year is when I really know how much money we're gonna have left. And last year was substantial because we did get in some additional payments from some other agencies. We had shown that at the end of the year, the balance in the general fund was actually $524,434. However, in there, we have early tax collections. Janice collects those payments, and that gets paid out in 26 to the county and then to the other schools, so forth. And that amount that was distributed, which was $413,157, which actually left a surplus of $111,276. Some of that money was for various projects that had been set aside for the town that never happened. Other was money that came in from a project that we were reimbursed. So we actually, with that 111,000 taking out the surplus that we said we used for our budget for this year, really left, sitting in the general fund right now of 102,000. So, right now, we're sitting pretty well. Generally, what we do with extra money that we have, or we can see, we would use that for budgeting purposes. But again, too, we'll still have more to deal with when we get into our budgeting for 2027. So we're sitting flush. And then the other thing too, and I have to look to see, I know and I sent out the budget report for this year right now, and everyone can see where we stand. We're doing good. We didn't set aside as much money for big projects because we didn't expect such a big surplus. So we didn't plan on doing a lot of big projects. We didn't have the budget for 2026 for major projects, but we did in 25. That didn't happen.
So it would kind of make sense that we would probably right now pay for half of this machine now and then finance the rest to pay next year. But that's just my thoughts. But before we get into that, the reason this machine seemed like a good option is because it's coming from a town just down the road. So we know where it came from, who operated it, maintenance that was done, all that stuff. It is a pretty good price, and it is something that the town's been wanting to do for quite a while, to upgrade that loader. Because the whole load is just, it doesn't do a lot of work, and this would be huge for snow plowing, not only as a loader, but snow plowing would be huge. So that's the reason behind it. It seems like a pretty good option right now, but what's your discussion?
Sounds to me like we can afford it, especially if we do that half and half, pay for half of it first.
Well, just a note on the spending, we have 32,000 that's set aside right for it. And then we have the extra surplus. And so I think even you can go more than.
You could pay for it.
So, yeah, you can go for more than that.
I don't think we better forget about hiring and contracting EMS services. I'm not saying we shouldn't do this. I'm just saying we better,
Gotta keep,
We gotta take, yeah, we're gonna have to guess what that might cost us.
Well, I mean, we're already paying for EMS services.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to pay more for it.
Well, absolutely, but we don't know that.
We don't know.
What we know is this loader is 115,000, so that's what I'm. And for budgeting next year, I totally see if you wanted to budget $1 billion for EMS or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, to spend $60,000 doesn't seem unreasonable. But that's my opinion.
Any value on the old one? Not much.
I would, maybe $5,000. I mean, it's not, my saying about that loader is it beats a shovel with barrel. So, easy piece.
Put it on, they can sell raffle tickets and make more money. That's gonna fall through.
You could find more than that. Out there.
So is there any more questions on the specifics?
You want a motion to pursue it, or what?
Well, I wanna make sure we get any questions
Yeah,
about the
yeah,
machine
yeah.
answered first.
So are we able to borrow money without a town meeting?
What do you mean?
I mean, this was not
I mean, as far as,
it wasn't a budgeted thing, this isn't the town approved a budget, are we able to spend money like this in the middle of the year? I'm asking an honest question, I probably should know this answer.
well, it's a good question.
No, yeah, it's a good question. We can. But we, the board, would have to make a decision, obviously, so it has to be a board approved decision, but. So like I said, we would basically have 2 months to figure it out, not that we don't wanna do it beforehand, but we don't have to figure out everything tonight at this meeting. But if it is something we wanna pursue, we can approve the purchase of it. But then we do need to figure out the funding at or before, well, before and then at the next meeting. So. Anybody?
Have you looked at it? Have you been on that equipment, have you operated?
Yep, I went over there on Monday.
So I'm gonna buy 11.
No, that sounds like a good idea, or good opportunity. I'd make a motion that we move ahead with a possible acquisition of it, with the contingency that, contingent on financing or financing it, paying for it.
Okay, well, we kind of need to make a decision if we're gonna buy it or not. I mean, we can wait, but, there's other interests.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So what I'm saying is we need to decide if we wanna buy it and then say, we need a motion to, yes, we're going to buy it so that we can sign for it.
But we still have to figure out. I mean, we obviously have the funds to pay for it,
Yes.
so we don't have to go to the town to acquire the
If we-
permission to fund it. That's what I'm saying. You see where I'm going with?
I do. But we don't need an annual meeting to fund it.
Yeah,
No,
that's my
It
point.
would require a special town meeting so that the electors would approve the purchase at that price.
Is there a certain dollar amount that we need to get town electorate approval on?
Yes, I believe there is. I think we should really look at that and confirm.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
that's why I was saying contingent on the ability to purchase.
I don't think there is. There only is on property. Buying its own property requires that, but it's equipment. I'm unaware of anything for equipment.
I'm not sure. I'd say it's something to just verify maybe.
All right, so I guess we'll just table it then.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it, so I'm not gonna make a motion.
Or you got your meeting on the 25th. Put it it on there,
We could do that.
and then just, they would be confirmed.
And we would know.
Yeah, then you're still within the,
By that time, we should know if we have to do a referendum or anything.
right, then you're just absolutely certain. Or make a motion pending verification.
That's one thing.
Go ahead if you want, prove if you want, but just, that's the
Yeah.
contingency. As long as there is nothing, then that's it all.
Make a motion to purchase it contingent on the ability to finance it.
I'll say that.
Okay, so I just want to be clear, you're saying on a contingency of financing, you're not actually saying like getting a loan, you're saying.
No,
paying the town.
No, I wasn't talking
It
about
doesn't
getting,
require-
I mean, paying for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I said financing because it's a financial.
I understand that.
I'll say that.
All right, the motion is made and seconded. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say aye. There's no opposed. Public comment period. Everybody's had enough meeting for tonight? Yes, Mark.
Well, every time someone brought up something to the town board, they always said, well, we didn't budget it. I don't know how many times I've heard that. I've been back here since '77. So I think you should look into it and see what you can and can't do.
Yeah, I concur.
All right, public comments? Yes.
On behalf of the fire department, thanks for the generous support for the cornucopia day. I
Thank
don't know
you.
what the numbers are, but they seem pretty good.
Our sales was 57-17.
That boy.
Any other
Same last
comment?
one beer at a time.
And Jeff, the art project, we got $37. So that'll be from you away.
What's that now?
The art
Yes.
project at the sweet shop for the kids afterwards, we got $37 in donations, so I'll get that to you.
I just wanted to say thank you to the board for approving the closure of the street for our street dance. It went really well. We had a huge turnout and we were able to raise $840 for the fire department. So we hope to be able to do it again next year and every year after. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Might be paying for a new driver.
Public comments? Motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say aye.
Yeah. Just like
Mark.
daddy.
That's